Lakesha and Akayla's fallout. On Sunday, Lakesha was visiting the fairground with her grandparents. Her best friend Akayla was with them as well. "Can we go to the beach?" Akayla asked. Lakesha looked at the beach and thought it looked a bit boring. Then she looked at the bumper cars and thought that they looked like much more fun than the beach. "We're going on the bumper cars now," she said. Akayla wasn't surprised by this at all, because ever since they were little, Lakesha had always been the bossy one. "I think we should go to the beach," Akayla said. "Well, I think we should go on the bumper cars," Lakesha said. The two of them argued about this for a very long time. "I don't want to go anywhere with you ever again, and you're not my best friend anymore, so there," Lakesha said, sticking her tongue out at Akayla. Akayla stuck her tongue out at Lakesha and said, "You're not my best friend either." She went over to her mom, who was standing by the ice cream and candy floss stand. When it was time to go home, Lakesha was still cross with Akayla and didn't want to say sorry. Akayla didn't want to say sorry to Lakesha either. "It's not worth losing your best friend over a silly fairground game," Grandma said on the way home in the car. "It's her fault for saying we should go on the beach when I wanted to go on the bumper cars," Lakesha said. On Monday, Lakesha went to ballet class. Lakesha and Akayla always dance together, but today Akayla wanted to dance with Violet instead. Lakesha had to dance all by herself in the corner. She saw Akayla having a nice time with Violet and started to feel very left out. But she wasn't going to say sorry. On Tuesday, Lakesha went with her mom to do the weekly shop at the supermarket. Whilst they were at the top of the sweet aisle, Lakesha saw Akayla at the bottom with her dad. Lakesha tried to hide behind the big chocolate display. "Why don't you just go up and say sorry to her?" Mom asked. "I'll say sorry when she says it to me first," Lakesha said. At the checkout, Akayla and her dad were in front of Lakesha and her mom. Lakesha took no notice of them. On Wednesday, Lakesha went to the park with her dad and her younger brother Malachi. Akayla was also there having a picnic with her family. Malachi kicked his ball too hard, and it landed on the picnic blanket. "Will you go and get the ball back, please, Lakesha?" Dad said as he pushed her baby sister Nevaeh in her pram, trying to make her go to sleep. "I'm not going to get it because I still don't want to say sorry to Akayla," Lakesha said. Malachi sighed heavily and said, "All right, I'll go and get it." Lakesha watched closely as he walked over to the picnic and said, "Excuse me, can I have my ball back, please?" "Of course you can," Akayla's mom said with a big smile as she passed the ball to him. Akayla looked at Lakesha sadly. She clearly missed her best friend. But she was also just as stubborn as she was when it came to saying sorry. Lakesha looked back at Akayla, and she did change her mind a little bit about making up. On Thursday, Lakesha helped Mom bake some biscuits for after tea. "I think it would be a good idea for us to take some round to Akayla's house," Mom said as the biscuits were cooling. "These biscuits are for friends only, and Akayla isn't my best friend, so she can't have any of them," Lakesha said. Mom sighed a deep sigh. Meanwhile, Akayla was also busy in the kitchen helping her mom to bake a cake. "Why don't we take a piece of cake round to Lakesha's house so that you two can make up?" "It's not that hard to say sorry," her mom said. "Why should I be the one to say sorry first?" "I didn't start it, Lakesha did," Akayla said while decorating the cake. Just like Lakesha's mom, her mom sighed a deep sigh too. On Friday, Dad took Lakesha and Malachi to the swimming pool. Lakesha wanted to go on the giant slide, but it was for 2 people only. "You could have gone on the slide if Akayla was here," Dad said. Lakesha still didn't feel like saying sorry. "I want to go on the baby slide instead," she said. The baby slide was nowhere near as exciting as the giant slide. Lakesha got bored very quickly and wanted to go home. Meanwhile, Akayla was visiting the zoo with her grandparents. As she looked around, she wished that Lakesha was with them. However, she was still very cross with her. "You can buy Lakesha this toy tiger as a way of saying sorry," Granddad said in the gift shop. "I want to buy something for myself instead," Akayla said. Grandma bought her a boring, cuddly elephant. On Saturday, Lakesha went to her friend Ruby's birthday party. Akayla was there as well. For the whole party, neither of them took any notice of each other. They didn't even sit next to each other when it was time to sing happy birthday, which is something they did at every party. Ruby's mom said that all of the children could go outside and play until their moms and dads came to collect them. Lakesha looked at Akayla, who was feeling lonely. Akayla looked at Lakesha, who felt the same way that she did. Without warning, Lakesha ran up to Akayla and gave her the biggest hug in the world. "I'm sorry for saying you weren't my best friend," she said. "I'm sorry too," Akayla said, hugging Lakesha back. On Sunday, they all went back to the fairground. "Do you want to go to the beach first?" Lakesha asked Akayla. "No. Do you want to go on the bumper cars first?" Akayla asked Lakesha. The two of them couldn't make up their minds about what to go on first. For the next 20 minutes, they argued about this, and it looked like they were going to fall out again. "I have an idea. We can go on the beach first, and then on the bumper cars straight after that," Lakesha's dad suggested. "That sounds like a great plan to us," the two girls replied together. And that was the end of the fallout. There's no difference between you or us.